All right, welcome back, everybody. Bloomfields' greatest fantasy football podcast. It's week 9. Let's jump right into it. How have we been, fellas?
You go first.
Okay. Been good. Been real good. Got this new jersey. Go Richardson. I have really bad luck with jerseys. So I decided to go with a rookie who I like, who I think will stay on his team for a while. So if he doesn't, it's completely on me and you all can blame me. But life's been good. Nothing out of the usual. Starting to get ready for having an early Thanksgiving this week, this Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you do have that super early one.
Yeah, we have an early one because we'll be on a cruise over actual Thanksgiving. So starting to get ready for that, do some prep work, some cleaning, a little project here and there to make everything look right. But yeah, that's about it for me. Parker, how have you been?
Pretty good. Just been working a bunch. I don't really have anything personal to share, so just happy got the win last week.
Yeah,
I'm also happy IU basketball started. Me and Hunter got to go to the scrimmage, and that was fun. Went to Knicks after.
Oh, yeah.
Heard some good stories from there. Yeah.
And then we had Allie's wedding the next day, and got to see old Zachary Skinner. He gave us some feedback on the pod.
Yep.
Told us how much we suck at this part.
Yeah, that's Zach. He's always gonna hate. Like he's just a hater. It's just Zach. So I wouldn't expect him to be like, yeah, I love it. It's great. Like you guys are doing amazing. Like Zach he's just a hater, and that's we love him for that. So I wouldn't expect anything else for him to not be a hater.
To be fair, I kind of agree. This part it's always a little awkward. None of us are really prepared for it. I almost think we need to replace the intro with maybe a short segment presented by Mamitas or something. Or we could,
I was thinking, where was that from? I was like, I know that.
Have something because we're just like, oh yeah, life is good. And how about you? Oh, life is good. Oh, how about you? Oh, life is good. Mom broke her ankle. No, that's about it. So.
That was a pretty good story.
Sometimes we have interesting things to share, not always.
This is kind of interesting. It relates to Bloomfield. Me and Gove went to the Florida Gulf Coast IU basketball game. I was walking out, just out of the tunnel, right after the game, and coming past me was Madame Senora Roach, and I was like had to do a double take, and we made eye contact, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely her, but she did not recognize me because she didn't say anything, and I didn't say anything because we didn't really get along. She was always asking me for participación, and I was never going to give her that participación because I was really bad at Spanish. So, and then I was walking out, literally 10 seconds later, I just heard, Hunter, is that you? And I turn around as Mrs. Lincecum, walking out behind me. I was like, where are all my former teachers here at the IU basketball game? Yeah, I gave her a hug and walked out with her and talked to her about some good times. So, yeah, well, it's nice to see some fellow Bloomfield people at the IU basketball game.
I was very interested to hear she teaches what? French 1, 2, and 3, and then Spanish 3?
Yeah, that's what she did in school.
I think so.
A very interesting combination there. But
yeah.
I'll say you are.
I do want to give it before we go into the fantasy. I want to give a quick shout out to Jackson because he finally watched the podcast and he was also at the wedding. I forgot to mention him. So
yeah. Well, it was nice to have a group of us in the league together, in person.
Yeah. Middle of the year.
I know we had the combine earlier in the year, but maybe we could have maybe an after-season awards banquet or something.
I was thinking that too. I kind of want an end-of-season party.
Like a Pro Bowl or something, get it all together. Instead of a combine, a Pro Bowl.
Yes. Yeah, get together.
Put together some awards. Yeah, I like that idea.
That would be fun.
For sure.
I think that would be cool. Together. All right, if that's enough for our stucky intro, we'll go into week 9? Week 9 scores?
9.
Week 9.
I'm just kidding, Zach. I think Zach did say I was good at the intros, so.
Yeah, he did say Parker was the best podcast member, but again, I call Gove. You're like a D1 hater of Will Levis. Zach is like a all-pro hater of anything and everything.
So that's above me, right?
Yes. Like you're
Okay.
just Division I. He's like an all-pro in the NFL. I don't
So
know.
he's
Like
professional too.
yeah, he's a professional hater.
It's like
Always has been.
2 steps above me.
Oh yeah.
He got drafted, made the Pro Bowl.
Yep. All right, let's talk about some matchups.
Yeah.
All right, we'll jump into mine. This will be a quick one. What about how we kind of expected to be a little closer than this because my team was looking like this was, I guess, like my bye week hell, apparently, since I had like no ETN or Laporta or defense or Waller. So, but my team did fine. Peter's team did not do fine.
Shocker.
Yeah, so it was an easy win for Long Live King Henry.
When in doubt, throw Jonnu in there.
Yeah, man, Johnny's back. Deontay Johnson, he's killing it. This is the first week I got to start my Ravens running backs. Both of them.
That's scary. That's
I
really
mean,
scary.
I didn't know who to start because I was like Downs was questionable. I didn't want to risk the re-injury.
The right choice though. So
I actually did make the right choice. All I missed out on was 1.3 points from AJ Dillon. So I'll take it. That was the best I've done on picking my flexes this year.
what about Keaton Mitchell's there now?
Yeah, I wanted him, but we'll get to that later in the pod. Yeah, that's about all I got to say about mine. My team, they played well. Good job, boys.
Where are we at on the Devonta Adams panic meter? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are we at?
It was max at 10, and then they fired McDaniels, and it moved down to like an 8 or 9, like probably an 8. But then he didn't play well again, so I'm pretty concerned. But I'm not really wanting to trade him because I know I wouldn't get much out of him unless I'll accept trade offers, but I don't know. I'm a little scared to sell him low like this, but because I think he can rebound. I really do. I think Aiden O'Connell will be better than Jimmy G. I don't know if like Aiden O'Connell's a quarterback the rest of the year or whatever, but at the moment he is, correct.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like that. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep plugging away with him. He plays the Jets defense this week, number 1 defense against wide receivers. So that's nice.
Oh boy.
All right, we'll hop off that one. Go to Team Cuck. Oh, this is the battle of the heavyweight Combs bros.
Battle for number 1 rankings. Battle of the Combs.
Yeah.
They both had their lowest weeks, some of their worst weeks for sure.
It was wild. It was a close matchup. You would have thought. Eli needed 5 points, 4 points from Justin Herbert on Monday night, and he barely got that.
Man, poor Eli's had to sweat out Monday nights like worse than I have this year.
And he always wins them too. He always wins the Monday night ones.
Yeah, he does.
Both of their lowest scores. It was Parker. Both their lowest score of the season.
There we go.
He's a
resident stat guy. He's got us. But did you just give us a salute? Okay.
Not for that outro.
Yeah, Eli's got that clutch factor though on those Monday nights. Yeah, Chase Edmonds got the 0.4, but Rashad White
strategy. They were supposed to balance each other out, you know.
Yeah, that was my strategy with the Ravens, but
I think if you would have told him that those two would have combined for 28.3 points, then he would have.
He'd be like, yeah, he'd be really fine. Thielen, that's kind of a down week. He's not been excellent lately. Neither is Puka. Kelsey's on the bye. His guys are cooling off a little bit. Also, Addison. Addison's cooling off a little. Nothing from the bench either, really. So I don't know if we're seeing just a down week or what, but something to consider.
I think they'll be all right. And then, with Isaac's team, I think we finally saw. We kept talking about how he was getting super hardcore carried by Hill and Brown, and if those guys didn't have monster weeks, then he'd probably be in trouble. And 19
still put up,
12, it still had pretty good numbers, but they weren't having the nuclear games like they normally did, and they didn't have anybody else really pick up the slack. Swift has really been that other go-to guy, and he only had 9, and Pickens.
Well, yeah.
That was it was like last Thursday where he had that terrible didn't get his other foot down on that touchdown. That was ridiculous.
Since Deontay's been back 3 weeks, and since he's been back, he's been pretty atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
I should have got 2 feet down in this match.
Yeah, that was one of the most
it was
unbelievable things I've ever seen. Like
I was thrilled with it.
It looked like he tried to not get that other foot down because it like glided over the turf and then like landed out of bounds. He like strided out of bounds. It was insane. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it how he didn't score there.
So yeah, he got 1 catch in week 8, and then he got 2 catches for -1 yards in week 9. So, I mean, just pretty abysmal from his flex, and that was his, like one flex he was relying on.
Yeah.
So, and he lost his other flex, Kendrick Bourne. So he's kind of hurting for flexes right now.
I gotta say, if you would have told him that the Ravens won 37-3, and that Lamar only scored 11 points, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, what on earth?
You would have thought Lamar had at least probably 25 points or so with that beating they gave Seattle.
It was those Ravens running backs I've been raving about all year.
It's your guys.
Those are your guys. That's your stable right there.
It's a shame because it should have been me. I had J.K. Dobbins week 1, man. If he would have,
you did.
Gosh, that would have been so much fun.
That would have been nice.
He's undraftable.
All right, are we done with the Battle of the Combs?
I think so. Yeah, good matchup.
Yep.
I think both teams are going to be fine. Just a little down week for both of them. I think both teams are still really good.
I think Eli needed this win more than Isaac did. So,
yeah, Isaac's got a big cushion with that 7-0 lead he had on everyone, but we're starting to reel him in. 2 losses. Was it in a row? No, was it in a row?
Oh yeah, I beat him.
He's got 2 in a row now.
2 in a row, and then he faces me this week when he's on bye week hell without all 3, Swift, Hill, and Brown. So we'll look at that later.
Yeah, we'll go into.
We go over some Deos later. So we'll go into Zach Stone's and Tyler Hansen's. Oh my, what a murder.
Yeah.
And this is not how we expected this to go. I don't remember what we picked.
Me either. I mean, Zach Stone's team has been like boom or bust every single week. Like if you look at like
Davis,
it's just like
1
week he's at the very top of the league, and the next week he's at the very bottom, and then up, down, up, down, up, down. So he had one of his up weeks, and Hansen had a miserable performance. Every time we think we have Hansen's team figured out and he's got it back under control and his guys got it,
he did have some bye week troubles though with the 49ers out.
That's true, but still, even the guys that like in his lineup that he would have played like struggled. Like Chris Godwin had 3 points, like he would have started them. Like Kenneth Walker had 2 points. Like Tyler Lockett had 6 points. Like those are guys that he's going to start that would sucked anyways.
I actually think his team's kind of fine. Like I still have more faith in his than I did probably Eli's or Isaac's, because like he's getting McCaffrey, Ayuk, Ingram also has been really good, and both of his quarterbacks, and like Lockett always does this with the 6 or 15 points. So I think his was just truly bye week hell, and like he just kind of waved the white flag. But
I think this is something that we kind of touched on earlier in the year about. I think it's possible to overstack your teams. He does have a lot of players from the same rosters, so it honestly is pretty scary to stack, and especially with some teams that are kind of up and down like the Seahawks. Geno Smith has been a bad quarterback in the NFL for a long time. I know he didn't write back, but he didn't look good. So
says the guy that started him in a few weeks this year.
I'm 3-6. Okay, my team's not good. My team is Geno Smith worthy. Like Geno Smith should be the captain of my team. But started Singletary and Chark. And then even the kicker, he got hurt. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That's tough.
That's just tough.
Running back kicked the field goal.
That was sick.
Yeah, I saw where he got like a plus 35 in kick power and kick accuracy on Madden. So that's pretty cool.
That's funny.
But how about Zach Stone's team? I mean,
the Texans, man. He started
literally
the Texan connection.
Carried by the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, he had Josh Jacobs kind of bounced back. Mark Andrews did his thing. His kicker dropped 20 points, which is always nice.
Well,
Just a wild breakdown of the scoring for a 152-point score. 40 from the quarterback, 20 from the kicker. You get a 0 from the flex, and then the other flex gets a 30 bomb.
His wide receivers,
his
Cooper Kupp and DJ Moore, got 10 points combined. What?
Brown and Tank Dell together almost outscored Hansen. They were 10 points off. So, you can basically throw anybody out there, and he'll win that game.
Zach's got to be loving this though for Stroud. I mean, that's huge to see Stroud do that.
And we had just talked last week about how Stroud was kind of cooling off and hadn't played as well, and then he freaking explodes for 41 points.
I told you guys, go Texans. Go Texans.
You loves the Texans.
You have an issue cheering for Will Levis on the Titans, but you the biggest Texans fan.
Yeah, Texans fan, Titans hater.
I think they're a respectable organization.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Titans, it's a nasty team. Not a good.
Will Levis, Derrick Henry, come on.
I mean, I'm not a Titans fan either, but you're just being hypocritical here. Just being hypocritical.
I'm not. I haven't said anything good about the Titans, and I haven't said about the Texans. So
what do you think about the Jaguars?
You literally just were defending the Texans, and I don't even remember. We'll have to listen back, but you definitely were supporting the Texans.
Yeah, no, I'm supporting the Texans, but I'm not supporting the Titans. There's no hypocriticalness in that.
There's definitely is if you're gonna say because they're in the AFC South, the Colts.
Yeah,
I never said that.
You have in the past.
I just said because they're the Titans.
Okay.
Go. What do you think about the Jags?
They're okay. I think Jacksonville is a gross city, but the Jaguars as a whole, they're okay.
I kind of like them this year because of Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, baby.
What? How do you pronounce that, Parker?
Etienne.
You used to say it weird.
You used to say Etienne.
No, I said Travis Etienne.
Yeah, that's it. I was looking for that.
I've since learned though. Put some respect on his name, and he kills it for me. He deserves it.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, Zach Stone's team's looking pretty solid. I think definitely have a serious shot to get in the playoffs, and it's a very boomer bust team. Those are the types that are scary to play in the playoffs because you know that
for sure
this team could have the potential to upset one of those big dogs in the playoffs with it just being a 1 week matchup. So I think he's got a good shot. I think he's got a pretty solid team.
His team's in the mix for sure. There's a lot of teams in the mix there for that.
It's going to get
the playoffs. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get real fun for the podcast. All right, so this one was a close one too.
What a game!
Your mom. Oh my gosh, were you guys watching this?
Yeah, I was tracking this game.
This was insane.
Too.
Crazy.
Just
the Chargers defense kept getting sack after sack after sack. It was the exact same thing every time. The Jets would just cross midfield and they'd be like, all right, they're looking halfway decent, and then sack, and then sack, and then another sack, and then another sack. And then they get the ball back, and here's a 10-yard pass to Keenan Allen, and then another pass to Keenan Allen. And it's what is going on here? Dude,
Zach always has these crazy, heroic performances. Do you remember the Antonio Gates one? Little throwback. Do you remember that?
Didn't he score 40 on a Monday night?
I thought it was 28.7 or something, but it was
28.7 because that's a very specific number.
it could be wrong. It's just for some reason in my head. I just remember he needed 28.6 or something. He got it by Antonio Gates got the exact number he needed on Monday night. Completely unrealistic, 1% chance to win, and he does it. Zach always pulls these out of nowhere. I think he had a 10% chance on this one, right? Going into it. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah, I didn't look at the exact percentage, but
it was 10% chance for him. And I was just thinking, oh man, if Keenan Allen goes and beats Alex's guy, Alex is gonna really hurt.
And it was
sure enough, he did it.
Yeah, it was the Chargers defense too. Like Alex is like
Yeah.
a default Chargers fan. Like he's always has Chargers on his rosters, it feels like. And then he
Mhm.
gets beat. I mean, his team name is literally from a Chargers player.
Chargers
Danny Woodhead,
legend.
one of the most
Danny
famous
Woodhead.
Chargers player of all time. And he gets beat by the Chargers on Monday
I feel
night.
like Alex should go and see if Danny Woodhead is available and just roster him.
He is
Just
for
for
sure
this-
taken out of ESPN.
Dude,
Well,
they'll
that
keep
is
players in
fine.
there forever, though. They'll keep them in there for so long.
That's how long he's had this team name. That he's removed from the system. He's been purged.
Yeah, so we haven't even really dove into the scoring besides that crazy Monday night. Michael Thomas is he injured or something? Why did he put
No.
up 0?
10-point man couldn't get it done.
Points?
His first
He got-
time not getting in that little window from 9 to 13.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And
Hey,
it
he'll
was
probably score
against-
20 this week.
It was against the Bears too. Like you'd think he could catch one pass against the freaking Chicago Bears, but
Yeah, crazy. Mr. Consistent. Yeah, I mean, no one else really played that good for him. Like,
top scorer was his defense. Crazy.
yeah, I mean, Burrow's kind of bouncing back. Mostert was average.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm worried about most of the rest of the season with Achan come back, but
Yeah, he's definitely come back down to earth. He's not really like, I mean, his position ranks 2 because I don't
He's
know
still right now
how.
for the 45 and 34 point games.
Well, yeah, 45 and 34, and running backs just haven't been that good this year. So, I mean, 6, 10, and 14. I mean, you'll take it, but
Yeah, I mean he'll still be a solid option, but
yeah, he's still a starter, but not like, he's not going to win you weeks like he
I don't
was.
think he's RB1 like he has been.
Yeah, and then Pacheco, he got him in the trade recently. This was his first week playing him, I think. 6 points 2 weeks in a row. That's also concerning.
I'm not huge on Pacheco. I don't know why. I feel like he has to score a touchdown to be playable. I just don't. I think the Chiefs are engineered now to spread the ball out to so many different options. That he basically has to get in the end zone for him to have, a RB1, RB2 kind of game. I consider him more of a flex RB3 kind of player.
Yeah, and Marquise Brown played poorly, and Jerome Ford did okay. So,
and still
and then-
sneaks out of there with the win.
yeah, he gets lucky, man.
The misfit toys.
But
The
he's
miss.
he's 6-3. Is he leading the division? No, is Eli? I don't remember what Eli's record is.
Yeah, well, they're tied at the
6
top.
and
But
3.
Eli,
Yeah. Eli's got the points for. So, yeah, Zach's still hanging in there, looking for that playoff spot.
he's at a 79% chance.
That's pretty high.
That is pretty high.
Alex's team, I mean, this is pretty good scoring for Alex's team, I think. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, pretty consistent all around the board. It's just funny, like you would look at like the scoring of like Alex's versus the scoring of Zach's, and you're just like, how did Alex lose this? Just
Yeah. If I looked at it and didn't know like the totals, I'd just be like, oh yeah, Alex probably won this one. No. Zach got it somehow. I mean, pretty consistent scoring. Zach Moss, I think Zach Moss's days might be coming to an end as fantasy relevance.
Yep. I mean, this might be crazy to say, but I don't think Alex is totally done. I feel like his team, there's a good enough like players there that he could potentially rattle off 5 in a row here at the end and like make some noise.
Wow.
Like I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but like Alex has like looked fairly. He's got fairly good players there. Like
okay, the names aren't bad, but
he's gonna have Barkley. He's gonna have Javonte Williams, who's been turning it on. Amari Cooper. Those two guys are solid receivers. You've got Hawkinson. Hopkins has looked really good with Will Levis. Shout out Will Levis. We love him.
you love Will Levis.
I obviously I don't think it's gonna happen, but like, I mean, for a 3-6 team, I don't think he's totally out of the like. I think we'll go into the very last week of the season, and Alex will not be mathematically eliminated. I think there could still be a path in the last week. I'd say
think his
that's the
team.
bold prediction. I guess I will say is that he will not be mathematically eliminated going into the final week.
Okay.
I
I
don't
think
even know
his
if
team's
that's
got
that bold of a
a.
prediction, but I think he's got a shot.
I think they've got a high floor now. Like all of his guys get a lot of time and targets and touches and stuff, but none of them are gonna like go nuts. Really, you know.
I may
Maybe
need to take that back.
Hawkinson.
I may need to take that back. He does have a really tough schedule, but no, I'll stick to
What's
it.
the schedule? I want to hear the schedule.
He's got Hanson this week, Gove next week, and then he's got Eli twice, and he's got you, Parker.
That is kind of rough.
Ay, caramba.
All right.
You know, I mean, if
Well,
he's playing like middle of the pack teams, I think you have a shot. But I may have spoken too soon. But hey, that's what we get for doing a podcast.
no Peter matchups in there to help him out.
Yeah, no bye weeks with Peter.
Hey, they're nice.
All right. Hunter, what do you have to say?
Just a down week for us. I don't know. Nobody really showed up. Defense -4 again for my team. I just can't figure out the defense. I just expecting more of Chuba and Rice. I keep saying that they're gonna come around and do something, and they probably won't. But I'm holding out hope because I have to at this point.
Didn't Rice get a touchdown?
Yeah, he got a touchdown. And then
Got a touchdown. He got a touchdown and didn't get 10 points.
it's crazy because they just didn't throw.
That's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, it is impressive.
Just didn't throw to him. Yeah, so nobody really went off. I mean, Kamara didn't do too much. Jamar Chase struggled. He got
That hurts. Kamara and Chase hurts.
Yeah.
Because I saw their full power. Like they just absolutely annihilated me. And then they turn around and do this. Come on, why can't I get Hunter on this on this week?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, not having Gibbs or Kittle obviously is going to hurt as well. But we just didn't have it this week. You know, props to Jackson. His team played well. It was in the middle of the service at Allie's wedding. He sat next to me and he leans over and he's like, "Take it easy on me in fantasy this week." Right in the middle of the.
You knew what he was doing.
Classy.
But really, it should have been the opposite. I should have told him to take it easy on me. It hurts to get beat by two tight ends, having two tight ends be two of his three top scorers.
You hate the two tight end format, don't you?
It's just it feels disrespectful. It feels disrespectful to lose that way.
I love it. I've actually become a fan of the two tight ends this year.
It's crazy because they're so worthless.
It's Dalton Schultz and the rookie Dalton Kincaid, who I like, but
the Daltons, too, dude, he's got something with the same names.
Robinson and the Daltons.
Yeah, two Brian Robinsons and two Daltons.
Yeah, freaking Derek Carr outscores Patrick Mahomes, and I still lose by 40 points. What?
Dude, CeeDee Lamb hit 41 and then 28. He's he's been nuts. 18 before that.
Baby. To the moon.
Yes, his team is really turning it around. Jackson's team is. I mean, they're not very deep. His bench is worthless.
Hey, he's got another third tight end. What if he would have beat you with three tight ends?
I probably would have quit.
Dude, he honestly might do that next week because Zay Flowers has gotten in the last few weeks 6 and 2.
Oh my God.
So if you were to go with
tight ends, that would be
that would be really funny.
Because he plays Peter this week. He could win with three tight ends.
That would be a fun experiment. It'd be
tight ends be able to go in any spot.
Yes,
just
roster them all.
Yeah,
you'd have to roster Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to hopefully getting Justin Fields back fairly soon. Not this week, but maybe next week because I definitely going to need him because Derek Carr is going to be on the bye. But yeah, props to Jackson's team. Good win. He kicked the stigma, which is important because there's a big stigma in the ROTC in the service world. So we needed to kick that stigma a little bit. So
Hunter, you were in a little bit of bye week trouble. I mean, with Gibbs and Kittle. I don't want to call it bye week hell because it wasn't that bad, but I mean,
Yeah, and then still having A-Chain hurt, and then Palmer now put on the IR as well. Like I was relying on him.
yeah.
It's not great.
Does it hurt when you look at your tight end and you see Connor Hayward there, and then you look at his tight ends and you see nothing but greatness?
It's tough, especially when I was trying to decide who I was going to pick up and play this week. It was between Connor Hayward and Kate Otten, and
Kate Otten did 23.
yeah, Kate Otten like went crazy, but it helps because even if I had started Kate Otten, I still would have lost. So, I mean, I can't be too upset, but it's still like really frustrating.
Right. So the tight end score is 57-3 added up. He had 3 tight ends to score 57.
You're in the third. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Luke Musgrave down there. All right, that's a fun matchup. We'll head into the waiver wire. League home. Oh, this is
searching those top banners, Parker.
Offers report. This was Wednesday. Mud Dogs. They got that kicker for $1.
Just Hanson, just wait. Just wait. Wait spending money on kickers. Nobody's picking them up. And if they do pick up the next one, they're all the same. It doesn't matter.
They're all the same. I'm still waiting to pick up my kicker until one of my guys goes out, and then I'll move him to the IR, and I'll just pick up a kicker because I'm not.
Parker, what would happen if someone pick up the kicker you want?
I'll just pick up a different one.
Exactly.
They're all the same.
Thank you. They're all the same.
They all literally say 7 or 8 points.
And then someone's like 6, and they'll score 20. So it
yeah, I don't even care. I don't want to drop Butker though. So all right, so we'll start here. Joshua Kelly for 17.
No,
did something?
Nope, that's not it.
Whoa, is this not?
No, he got dropped. Keaton Mitchell got claimed.
Oh, I was like, did something happen with Joshua Kelly or Eckler? Yeah, freaking Keaton Mitchell for 17. That's right. The guy I wanted. Man, this is sad. I talk about it later with Jum himself, but man, I want a Keaton Mitchell. I'm like Thanos. I'm like collecting the Ravens running backs, and when my Infinity Gauntlet's done, I'll have them all.
If we were to
That's a great analogy.
Do that same, it was good. If we were to do that same trade now, I think it might go through.
Maybe it still looks bad for me though, because Aaron Jones has sucked.
Yeah, Aaron Jones looked terrible.
He looked good.
And Derrick Henry's been so good for me. Like I feel like a jerk for trying to trade Derrick Henry because he just keeps dropping 19 points every week for me.
I'm just saying.
Stop trying to cope. Stop trying to cope. Just accept it.
Just accept it.
It got vetoed. Accept it. Move on.
All right. Also, what happened with Robert Woods? I know the Texans went off.
He's not even healthy. He might not even play.
Why did Alex do that?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows what's going on with in his head right now?
He hasn't played the last 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. I don't remember.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Alex isn't even running his team anymore. It's somebody else. He's just outsourced to just some random, and we just have no idea what's. We just have no idea who's running that team.
He probably left his team logged in on some public computer or something at a library.
Yeah, probably some random Mexican at like a library down in Mexico.
Some random Mexican. Oh my.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, Alex got Robert Woods now.
He was on my bench
forever. Yeah. Josh Dobbs, that's a good pickup. Josh played. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done $10.
Also, why are his other games wiped?
I don't know why he's wiped.
Yeah, can we look at his other games? Because he's definitely played in like all those other games.
Yeah, he's played like every game this year. I don't know. That's weird.
They probably just couldn't figure out how to translate it over.
They just wiped him. He's starting fresh. $10 though? I don't know. I mean, I guess it did beat the $4 one. So
I mean, it's Peter's team. Like, yeah, whatever.
I gave everything I got for Keaton Mitchell, and it just wasn't enough. So Kenny Pickett.
Maybe you can make a trade.
I honestly might. I need
I
him.
think Kenny. I saw a stat where in all of Kenny Pickett's games, he has thrown for more than one touchdown in one game.
Yeah, and it was like a couple weeks ago.
He is not a startable quarterback.
9, 3, 15. Is this really the best we got available in the waiver wire?
Yeah, you guys keep telling me to drop Derek Carr.
I'm not telling you to
Josh Dobbs and Kenny
I'm not telling you. I'd rather start Josh Dobbs over Derek Carr.
I like Derek Carr. He beat me when you started him.
The only problem with Derek Carr is that every time they get in the red zone, they bring in Taysom Hill.
That would drive me nuts.
It pisses me off so much because I have Carr and Kamara. And when Taysom Hill runs in a touchdown, I want to pull out my hair and punch myself in the dick because it is so frustrating. Because you think, I've got the quarterback and the running back one. Like, I'm surely going to get the touchdown. One of the touchdowns here. Somehow. Friggin' Taysom Hill. God, he's the worst. He should not be allowed on a field. He's just the worst. He's
just made up for fantasy.
He is a rich man's Tim Tebow.
God, I hate him so much.
And Hunter, whenever I was watching that Colts game, didn't he do it against the Colts?
Yeah, he's against everyone.
And you still beat the crap out of me, but I was like, oh, that was so refreshing to see Taysom Hill score that.
Every time I get the ESPN notifications like, Alvin Kamara's in the red zone, Derek Carr's in the red zone, and then Taysom Hill like at the 5, they snap it to him. He's like, and tucks it and runs it in. He's so dumb.
He doesn't throw anymore. He does not throw the ball anymore, and somehow he still scores every time.
He threw it to John Johnson last week, though.
The only way I get a Derek Carr touchdown if it's more than 10 yards. If it's inside the 10, he's not even touching the field, let alone throwing a touchdown.
Yeah, you never get the Carr to Kamara touchdown, probably.
I got it once in the Colts game, and it was the best.
It was the best.
And then they just went to Taysom Hill. They teased me. It's the opposite of the meme that Zach Skinner sent earlier. They teased me, didn't take me all the way.
All right, what else we got here? We got Bears $1 and Hunter Henry for $1.
Not the Bears.
Nothing crazy. Then the kicker for $1. And that's all the waivers for this week. We didn't have any trades, so nothing to announce there.
Deadline's fast approaching. Better get those offers out.
Isn't it December 1st, maybe? Yeah.
Yep.
12-1.
I do want to make a trade eventually.
Hey, I love trades.
I
sent you one, by the way. I sent you one right here while we're doing the podcast. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Like, he got on his phone to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
It's probably Devontae Adams.
It's probably Devontae Adams for DK.
That's it.
All right, let's look at the upcoming matchups.
Forward, week 10.
You could accept it on the podcast. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. If I get
watch it get live on the podcast too.
I'll change it to worse than F the FFI.
So I don't even want to jinx myself. I don't even want to say anything here.
You're just gonna go with the pick.
Oh my gosh.
Parker luck continues as he gets Isaac on this week.
Okay, my luck's not really crazy anymore because I'm 6-3, same as everyone else.
And not me.
But my points for is like 4th or 5th, so I'm still. I think I'm right where I need to be. Everything's even out, but this is super lucky.
Thank you for at least admitting that.
This is so lucky.
Hey, you still have to face the Cowboys defense, and they are playing the Giants.
Oh God!
They could put up 40 points,
bro. If I lose this matchup, I don't even know. I'll do the next podcast shirtless if I lose this. If I lose this matchup.
Okay. I mean, the Cowboys could very well be his highest scoring player this week.
I do have more
Miles Sanders.
Like, look at the check marks. And I don't even have a kicker starting yet. Like, it's just I'm just like, man, I might just pull out the Falcons defense just so I don't get a negative. Like, I don't know. I just want to be safe on this week. Just let my guys go out there and do what they do. Just score that 130 points. Just Let's just run it back next week.
This would feel like an all-time upset.
Oh my gosh. Isaac would go nuts. Like,
I mean, this lineup that Isaac has right now is averaging 100 points, and yours is averaging 140. Crazy.
yeah. And I got my kicker on the bye still. So I'm like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, I think it's fairly simple here.
Yeah, I'm picking Parker.
You'd be pretty crazy not to, but we'll see. I mean, I'm also picking myself. Okay. I'm picking myself, and I'm like this is scary to lose. You know, like this is one it would be so embarrassing to lose. But
you know my thoughts on Isaac's team.
Yeah, you know my thoughts too. It just like how about that luck? I mean, wait, what's wrong with Lamar Jackson? Oh, he's on bye, isn't he?
No, that's just the bench. That's just the bench.
But why is he benching Lamar instead of Goff?
Cleveland defense is pretty good.
Week, and Cleveland's defense is good.
That's his top 4 scorers on the year, right there. So, I like facing his bench. That's pretty cool. So, I'll face. I guess we all pick me. We'll go on to. We go over this one later.
Yep.
And then Gove's matchup with Zach Stone.
Gove, is this a must-win matchup for you?
Every match from here on out is a must-win for.
You gotta win out.
Here. Have to win out, I believe, if I have any.
How many weeks do we have left?
5.
5 weeks. I played Peter.
Yeah. I feel 8-6 is still not great. If
you definitely need to win out because I feel like, you're so far down in points 4-2. Like, even if it gets close to a tiebreaker, you're probably not going to win them unless your team's crazy. So, you probably are going to need to win out.
Alex and I are the only 2 teams below 1,000 points total.
And aren't you at 999.9?
You and Peter had the same amount of points scored.
I'm at 9.
Let that sink in, Gove.
9.
I mean, but the thing is, Gove, like, you play Zach Stone this week, whose teams looked very good. And then you play Alex, who hasn't scored over 1,000, but I think his team's solid. And then you play me, who you never know what my team's going to do. And then you get Peter 2 times in the week. So it's like you have a very –
I might do it.
You have by far the easiest schedule remaining. By far the easiest schedule left.
Yeah, which means maybe you just had a really tough schedule so far.
No, my team's been bad. They've been bad. I'll be the first to tell you that. They've been bad. But
you've also had super bad luck with injuries and buys. I swear you guys have been double buys or something. I don't know.
I don't know if my team is actually playing. Like,
because you also still you lost Jalen Waddle this week.
Yeah, I lost Waddle to buy.
And your flex, Henderson. So you always have somebody out a buy.
Still out. Aaron Jones is looking better, though. Played good last game. I have to start Christian Watson this week, so not feeling good with that. You guys are going to see the rise of Njoku this week. He finally works his way into the lineup.
Hey, 2 tight ends. Let's go.
But that's only because my options are extremely limited. I just want to give a moment of appreciation to the Ravens defense. They have probably been my steadiest player on my team. Week in and week out, I can start them and at least expect 5 points, which is something you can't always expect from the defense. So, if my team makes the playoff,
it's all thanks to the Ravens.
All thanks to the Ravens defense. They've played great this year. Really happy for those guys. So, go Ravens.
Zach Stone seems looking very, very strong. Like,
they are.
If Debo plays and Drake London plays well, or Drake London plays as well, like that starting lineup right there is a pretty scary looking starting lineup.
Yeah,
and that doesn't even have
Cooper Kupp in there, who I think is going to rebound with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. Are we sure Carson Wentz is even going to play?
I don't think he's going to play now.
Either way.
He won't have Brett Rippon.
Hey, if you got points scored for defensive pass interference, he would underthrow a couple deep balls and get that PI.
That's his specialty.
Points. Yep, he loves that deep ball underthrow. But I don't believe that I'm gonna win this week. but I do believe because we have to
I
believe.
do believe.
We have to believe. It's not a want to believe or a think to believe. It's a have to believe.
How
That's
did Aaron
fair.
Jones
That's
do
fair.
last week?
He did good. Looked good. Scored a
18.
Packers touchdown, which
Is rare.
ring the alarm
Yeah.
bells. Doesn't happen.
AJ Dillon got 5, so this is the first, first down week for him in a while.
Yeah, I saw the snap count is officially in Aaron Jones' favor now. I believe he snapped over somewhere like 55% or something like that. So, he's not wearing the red no contact jersey in practice anymore, so that's good. I'm really thinking that Joe Mixon is going to have a great week this week. Plays Houston.
Bengals are back. They are all the way back.
Bengals are back. So Joe Mixon's
20
been
and
looking
17.
great. Really makes me feel good about the Eckler trade. He was kind of a big piece coming back. Had a little bit of a question mark with how the Bengals are playing so far, but I feel like he's played well for my team. Gonna need a little tight end magic, but I think Zach Stone has a great team. A lot of big pieces. If Tank Dell and Stroud can keep that rookie connection going, he could easily sneak in the playoffs. But I'm going to have to pick my team just because I want it for the guys. We deserve it, I think.
I'm going to go with Zach Stone's team. That lineup's looking pretty scary. I believe in Stroud. I believe in Tank Dell. I'm not a hypocrite when it comes to who I cheer for in the AFC. So I'll cheer for those guys. I think Zach Stone's team's looking pretty strong. Don't really believe all that much in Gove's team. DK Metcalf, who knows what he's doing? He's got that early onset CTE.
He could be on his way out of town. Rumor has
it. Doing? What do you mean?
I'm just saying the rumor mill. I've heard he could be switching.
Man, he sucked 12, 10, 11, and 6. And you're wanting Devontae Adams for him?
Devontae Adams has sucked too.
That's still basically been Devontae's still been better than that, I think, maybe.
He wasn't at least in the year.
He's at least playing. So what's wrong with him? He's injured?
Geno Smith just kind of sucks. He's a little injured, but not any more than normal, I don't think.
He's injured in the brain.
Yeah.
Could be also, the week 2 updates. The week just officially started. Thursday football just started, and Eli sent his meme 1 minute ago. So
I saw that. We'll have to watch.
Big updates in the league.
Officially down 10-0, so good start.
Great
DJ
start.
Ward's gonna catch a touchdown as we're looking at this.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man, I really don't want to pick I want to pick an underdog somewhere, but oh man, I don't know. I think Zach's team is just really hot right now. So like with Stroud and
DJ Moore just got a catch, it looks like.
He did. I'm gonna pick Zach. I'm gonna pick Zach. I think Go's team is. I think they're okay. They're not awful anymore. But
not awful anymore. I'll take it. Write that on our tombstone.
I like the hypothetical of him winning out, but I don't know if he can. Do you think if he loses this week and then wins? Because I think the rest of his matchups are much easier than this one.
I'm gonna need a lot of good luck for some.
He would be 7-7, right? Yeah, he'd be.
I feel like it's probably going to come down to with where everybody's at. I feel like a 7-7 tiebreaker is probably going to be what gets the last spot. I feel like it's probably my guess is going to be there's probably going to be 5 teams at least 8-6, maybe 4 teams at least 8-6, and then the rest are going to be 7-7. It's going to come down to tiebreakers. That's my official prediction. Once it gets closer,
you better start scoring.
I'm trying.
Bunches.
I put up 140 last week. It looked pretty good.
You did. You would have beat me, I think. Well, maybe.
I would beat every
team. I would have beat you by a point, I think. All right. Danny Woodheads and Mud Dogs. I don't even know what to think, honestly.
I think the 49ers are back. Let's just roll up the Mud Dogs. Brock Purdy hasn't looked too great lately, but CMC and Ayuk should get this team back on track. So You know I'm not a
Going with
believer
the Mud
now.
Dogs.
So yeah, Mud Dogs.
You know, I made that bold prediction of how I think Alex could potentially like still be in this race. I think I got a little ahead of myself there.
Instant
Crazy.
That was
I think
just
I'm already
so
starting to
uncalled for
backtrack
too. It
about
was out of nowhere. He's like, Alex is gonna win
I
out
just
and make
started looking at the team and I was like, I like this team. I like this team. Like, you know what? This podcast is built on bold predictions. Like, let's go for it. And, I think I'm already starting to backtrack on it, especially.
Dude, he does have luck factor though. Like, not with his injuries, but he does seem to like pull out just close wins.
Yeah,
Low scoring, close
he
wins.
normally takes it, but
if it's a close one and like down there in the trenches with a 100-point, scoring around 100 points, he's gonna nab it every time.
He's a trench warrior.
Yes. Yes. I don't know, man. I think Mud Dogs had a bad week last week, didn't they? Yeah, because it was the bye weeks.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think he's gonna come back like 180 points this week, like he always does. So I'm gonna go Mud Dogs as well.
I don't know. I really don't know here.
You feel like you got to take Alex for free.
My heart says Alex. My head says Hansen.
What does your soul say?
I don't have one, so I don't know.
I'm glad you got that one.
That was really good.
Yeah, screw it. Let's go with Alex.
Wow.
You got
Why
nothing
not?
to lose with your
Yeah,
last
why
place.
not? Or I should just flip the coin.
Yeah, you still have to flip them for one of our matchups.
Yeah, I don't think you did that last week, but
Do you want to flip it for this next one? Oh no, that's your matchup. I feel like
might as well.
Oh, Chuba Hubbard's got 0.3 points. Let's go.
There you go.
Chuba. There's a boy.
He's 3% on his way to his projection right now.
Dude, Zach started Antonio Gibson as RB1.
That is the only reason that's making me. And so the only reason I'm feeling good about this matchup and my chances is because of Antonio Gibson in there.
Cade Otton
is scaring me because I could have had him. He could have been on my team. Curtis Samuel, I hate for some reason. He drives me insane because he's good.
The 10-point man's in there.
He just gets involved. Yeah,
10-point man will be back with the bench.
Michael Thomas probably scored 20 this week to make up for the 0-point performance.
True. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a scary one because just like with Zach's luck and the random Antonio Gibson RB1 play, I just kind of want to like pick it.
Click on Antonio Gibson, please. What has he been done this season?
Not much. Oh, he scored 12 last week. That's probably
5 catches.
9 and 12. I can't give him too much crap because that's like AJ Dillon stats right there. So I've played AJ Dillon so many times this year.
Yeah, I mean Antonio Gibson will probably go off this week. He'll probably have 2 touchdowns.
I watched last week's performance from Zach's team. Saw the defense put up 26 points for the massive comeback.
He's starting another Monday night defense, which scares the crap.
Oh no!
Boys. He also is a trench warrior.
He is a trench warrior.
I have to there. It's it could be an ugly game, but man, his team is dirty. They play dirty. They'll do anything to win.
They'll play dirty. Hunter, you got Jameson Williams. There's no.
I can't explain it. Like Zach had a problem with me calling his team the Misfits, but I can't explain it. I mean, like
I agree with it though. I also agree.
It just makes sense. Like Antonio Gibson, Jerome Ford, Cade Otton, Curtis Samuel. I mean, I'm starting Chuba Hubbard and Jalen Warren. Like I don't really have too much of.
You have an identity though. Like you're built around like Kamara and Chase, and like you had A-Chain there and Fields. Like you have like a. Oh no, he's just got this weird.
That's what I said about Zach's team. You look at him, you see Joe Burrow and Keenan Allen, and then you're like, who else did he draft?
Well, and Keenan Allen he just acquired, but it's like every week it's someone else that drops like 20 or 30 points to save him. And it's like, for a while it was Mostert, and everyone's like, I don't know if we believe this, then it was last week it was the Chargers defense.
It's he's just a well-balanced team of misfits, I guess.
All held together by Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas is the glue.
The one steady in the middle.
The glue.
It's crazy.
So I mean, it helps that he has no Goddard, he has no Pacheco, he has no. Who's the other guy on bye that would probably start? Mostert, yeah. So
I
that
feel like
helps a
you can't
little bit.
even. Yeah, true. This is the most wild card team of the world. Like you
And they're
just can't
6-3
even.
without Justin Jefferson for the last 4 weeks.
Tied for first. If he wins this week, like he could very well be in charge of that division heading into the playoffs.
It's crazy how he's been able to handle get the most out of this team. It's wild.
It really is. He's squeezing them all for everything they got.
He's got that toothpaste tube and he's rolling that thing.
They say he's won his past 3 in his last 4 and 5, so he's rolling.
I don't know if I've played him. I don't remember.
It does make me a little nervous that this entire time we've sat here and discussed this, that Chuba Hubbard has not gotten any more points.
I think he just ran for a couple yards, so I might get updated in a second.
Okay, good to know. Hey, there we go.
There we go. He's almost
He
got
only
a
goes
point.
to point threes.
So I'm gonna go with my team. I have to support my guys. If their leader, if their commander in chief does not support them and does not choose them to win, how are they supposed to believe in themselves? So I'm gonna pick my guys.
I feel that
Derek, I love that Derek Carr is projected 12.9 points.
And it's against Minnesota. Like what? Why is he projected so low? It doesn't make any sense.
Hunter, you always get screwed on projections. They project your guys like 2 points or something.
It's so stupid.
He did this last week too.
It's just, they know Taysom Hill is going to get the touchdowns.
But yeah, I mean, I don't understand.
I don't know, man.
I just pick my team. That's just it.
I'm gonna pick Zach's team just because Hunter just picked his, so I'm gonna pick Hunter.
Don't pick on your own belief. Pick on Hunter's picks.
I mean, also just because of all the randomness, I'm just going with the wild card. What about you, go?
Yeah, Zach's team.
God dang it.
All right, go on.
French Warrior.
All right, Trench Warrior. All right, we're going the kick in the stick with 2-7, Peter.
God, I hate to see this quarterback matchup.
Straight off waivers. Both guys straight off waivers.
Straight off the way, right in the starting lineup.
It's ugly and uglier, right?
I wonder if he's gonna switch his kicker. I mean, he did switch out his quarterback before he played me in like the last minute, like literally during the 1:00 games or like right before him. I think he switched out.
Have you guys ever looked at Josh Dobbs?
Like his head, how it's super pointy.
He is ugly, man. He is an ugly guy.
That's mean.
I just don't like to look at him.
Then don't look at him.
Did you know that he was like an aerospace engineer or something?
Oh, he's incredibly smart, but he
loves NASA.
He's like legitimately a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
I think he just plays in the NFL for fun. Like,
yeah. I don't know, boys. I mean, I know who I'm picking.
Yeah, we all know. I mean, we're all gonna pick Jackson here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, or are you gonna wait till I pick Jackson, and you're all gonna pick Peter?
No, I'm picking Jackson too. I think I want Jackson. I do want to propose Jackson to start Luke Musgrave instead of Zay Flowers. Do the first 3 tight end.
3 tight end special.
3 tight end start in the league. I don't know if we've ever had a 3 tight end start.
If you win with that, I'll trade my best player for scraps.
See, I hate the 2 tight end start, but I would love a 3 tight end. I would be all for a 3.
That's just buying all the way in on the tight end.
For memes at that point.
Especially with 2 of them rookies. Like, that's crazy.
All right, do we need to talk about any more, or we want to go into the rankings?
I think I'm good with the rankings.
Let's do some rankings.
Let's do some rankings.
Rank them.
Screen.
Incredibly difficult week of rankings.
Oh my gosh. I could not decide. Jump right into it here. Yep. Peter, Alex has not changed. And I had a pie.
I put up 140 points.
I know you did. Then I looked at this week's roster and I said, oh, it's back to the same old go. He's starting Njoku, and he's got, I don't know, who was your flex?
Njoku and
Didn't you start Ferguson?
Christian Watson.
Yeah, Christian Watson. I don't know. I was like, Well, honestly, your team looked really good though last week, so I wanted to put them higher. But from here on out, from 10 to like whatever 5, it was like everyone scored pretty good, and it's pretty good. So
Yeah, I thought I would move Gove up in my rankings too, and then I was just like, who am I going to move?
I
him
actually moved
over?
him down one. I
So I
literally
think I
moved
did
him.
as well. I think I moved him down one as well. I was
I
like,
moved him
this just
down one.
you couldn't justify moving him above over anybody else because everybody
I
else.
was
I
kind of
moved myself down one, but I don't.
I was surprised you guys kept kicking the stigma at 10, honestly, because I think his teams deserved a little bump. I had him up one,
we'll see
but
who double tight ends better this week. Don't worry.
so you guys had him here. I mean, actually, we're pretty similar here with kicking the stigma in FFI. So
We all agree that those are the bottom 3 teams.
those are the bottom, and then it gets wild from
Or bottom 4 teams. Yeah.
Yeah, then it gets wild from here. The battle of the Zacks continues. We got. I don't know, man. Literally, Zach Stone's team is really good, so this was hard, like to put him.
I mean, they are the ultimate
low.
boomer bust team, but like Cooper Kupp is struggling, like
second.
it's hard to like put a team like Zach Stone that's so up and down, like literally every week, like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's crazy. It's hard to put them like too much higher because like you to win the playoffs, you got to get 3 good weeks in a row, and hasn't been able to put 3 good weeks together.
And he's had, I mean, literally we just put the second highest score of the week and the third highest score of the week, not 8 and 9. So that's why this week's been so hard.
Yeah.
And then Gove had Hard Spartan together. We had the Mud Dogs down here at 7.
Mud Dogs.
This is the farthest that he's ever been, I think.
Yep.
Best down he's ever been.
And it is
he'll be back guys next week.
I think he'll be back. And it was just a bad bye week. His team's been sliding a little bit. I had Hunter. I don't know. I wanted to keep Hunter high, but it gets this wild, man. It's just wild from here on out. Honestly, I took records into account from kind of like, I don't know about here, but from the next pick up. Because you guys both have your mom already. I haven't had your mom yet.
Yeah, I have him here.
He's very high for me because he's 6-3. I was like, he's got to make the playoffs. Like he's got.
He might make the playoffs, but I don't think his team's good enough to go far. They're just misfits, but they win. I don't
Yeah,
so mad.
Yeah, so he had him there at 6. Go, you had the Mud Dogs, so we were pretty consistent on the Mud Dogs.
They had a down week, as they've had many times. But I still like the quality of the roster. I think having Ayuk and CMC, CMC is a touchdown a game guaranteed, so
he's so good.
Points back.
I'm so worried about him getting injured though.
Yeah, he'll be all right. But the thing with Zach's team, for me, is that like he's been his best like weekly finish is second, and like I feel like at some point you've got to be like you've got to win a week to prove that like you could like potentially win the entire thing. Like if that makes sense. Like if you can't
outscore everybody,
you can't be the top scorer of a week. Like I feel like there's a trend. Like I feel like the best teams have scored the most points in a week before. I don't think that's a coincidence. As I've dove into the numbers, I think that's consistent because like looking at it, he's been second score of the week once, and then he's been 4th twice, and then like that's the highest he's been. Like he's not top 2, 3, 4. Like
where's he at on
squeaking by wins?
I think he's 6th on. He's like dead center in points.
Points scored.
Yeah, like 6th.
Okay. Yeah, Sendejo, had him here. Did you guys have him? Have you guys had Sendejo yet? You haven't had Sendejo?
I'm backing on Sendejo.
I like his team a ton, but man, he's what 4 and
5. He's gonna make those playoffs. He's gonna steamroll some big teams.
I know he is. I had him here only because Zach seems 6-3. So I just took the records into account when doing this because I was like, I don't know how else to do this. So I didn't want to be like putting Zach's team down at 7 or 8 like I have all year. But his team's, up there with everyone else.
Find ways to win. There's find ways to win.
You guys had Hunter.
Quick little timeout here. Panthers punt return touchdown. Might get called back for a flag though, but
Oh.
Let's continue.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I mean, we might have jumped the gun a little bit on putting my team at 3 last
I don't
week.
think so. I don't think so at all.
They were playing good. They were playing worthy of 3. I think.
When I did it, I thought, okay, I think this might be the highest Hunter's team goes, but it feels. I was like, it feels.
I would say I had 2 like really good weeks back to back.
I think it was deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, teams go through ebbs and flows, and I think you're
I'm
definitely hit a
definitely
peak.
I'm definitely nervous moving forward with some key bye weeks and tough matchups. So we'll see, but I don't know. I guess I'm just being pessimistic about my team. I don't know. I think there's a clear like top 3.
I mean, you're just right there in the mix, though, for the playoff spot. You're right in the hunt. There's so many of you right there for the hunt. Sendejo, yeah, you guys had him. Go had him at 4. Hunter had me at 4. Your mom here. Highest he's been. No, we probably had him high early. We had Justin Jefferson, but definitely the highest he's been in a while. Highest he's ever been for me, I think.
I had him at 4 once, and that was the highest that I've ever had him. All the way back in week 3. So yeah, but other than that, he's been down towards the bottom or late around the middle.
The highest for me is 6.
Yeah, this is probably the highest for me. I don't have my rankings saved. I don't know where you guys are pulling this from, but
I just have my spreadsheet.
Same.
I'm just not on your level. Hunter,
But,
I mean, it wouldn't be a normal ranking if Hunter didn't have me lower than me goes.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You can count on me to have Parker rated the lowest out of all of us.
You keep me grounded.
I do. I keep you humble. Buddy.
He's the brick attached to your foot.
Exactly. I got you.
Because I had me at 3. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to put myself 1 this week. I was like, dude, my team's playing good, consistent. I mean, I'm hoping for a win this week. I was like, my team's, they're riding high. Hunter had Sendejo at 2, even with a losing record. Sendejo at 2.
Thing is, he's 4 and 5. Like, he's gonna make the playoffs. I just know it.
He is.
And that's all he needs. He just needs to make the playoffs. We all know that his team is really good. Like,
points
Drum sucker.
I'll suck Jum all time long. I love Jum suck. He's the best. His team's good. I think we just got a little. I think we might have overreacted to the records and the loss to Hansen a little bit because his team's good. Kyron Williams is going to come back and they're going to be great. I'm a big believer.
Yeah, it seems ridiculous. And then Isaac Cuck at 3. Slide.
The rivalry.
Slid. No, you never put him 1, have you?
I put him 1 when he cried last week.
Oh, when he cried. I didn't know you did it. When he cried.
We had him on. We talked. Everything was good. And then I kind of told you it was fraud alert. I went in, spanked him, showed him how real team plays. And then, I talked to Eli, gave him a little strat on how to take him down. Sure enough, Eli comes in, takes him down.
This week with him, I'm like, okay, I'll give him this week. If he beats me, I won't move myself up above him. But
he's probably 6-5 this week. After this week, if he loses for me, at least
5.
Probably.
You hate his team.
It's gonna fall for me because his record will be pretty. What will it be? 7 if he loses this week.
7-3 if he loses this week.
He relies on 2 players, and it just doesn't work all the time. And when it comes to the playoffs, he's gonna need more than 2 guys to perform.
Yeah, I think it could be in for some trouble. All right, we'll go on to the next one. Gove had me at 2, and we had Team Cuck at 2. I appreciate it, Gove. This is the highest on the.
I like your team. Right. You're
my roster's solid.
You don't have a lot of bad weeks, and I think that's what makes you such a high team to me. I feel like you're consistently hitting that 130, 140 range. I don't know how many times you're really gonna wow everybody and then drop 180, such as.
That's what I'm worried about. My ceiling, I have never seen it.
Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, but I think as much as I hate Will Levis, He is better than Ryan Tannehill, I believe. So you might see some Derrick Henry with some less stacked boxes. I think that your ceiling only has gotten higher as the years came along.
I agree. I think my hope relies on Devontae Adams being the superstar to be the
or DK, but yeah.
to be the best in the league and like win the chip. Devontae Adams has to turn it around. Like, I can't keep running him out there and him getting 7 points and then expect to win the whole thing.
Yeah, that does hurt, but I think the stars, they show up when it matters. So.
And then we all had consensus number one this week. He won the battle of the number ones. Kirk O'Hearn. He's doing it for Kirk, baby.
Doing it for Kirk.
This team is giving me vibes of Team of Destiny. Like they remind me a lot of my team from last year, of pulling out Monday night winners, all like consistently finding ways to win, getting some guys that weren't expected to be stars playing really well as stars. They're just giving me Team of Destiny vibes. They're just giving me Team of Destiny vibes. I know Eli's probably going to murder me because I'm saying this and jinxing him. So I'll just go ahead and say I'm sorry for that. But they're very good. They're just very good. He's getting 2 guys back this week. They're going to be very important. So I think they're going to be good.
I've officially moved Eli down 2 spots now because of Hunter's comments. So if we can update it and run it back, I'd appreciate it.
Well, the thing is, I didn't pick him to win. I just kind of said they're giving Team of Destiny. So since it's not necessarily a pick, we might be all right.
Do you mean Team of Destiny as in this? It's just like kind of a magical season for him.
Yeah, it's a magical season that they're going to do very well. They're rallying around the loss of Kirk, their leader.
Yeah, and he's just had some awesome storylines with like Puka. The phenom rookie that he picked up, and then Adam Thielen, old man Thielen bouncing back.
Yeah,
old man Thielen, old man David Montgomery, old man James Conner.
Yeah, he's just had some awesome. It is like a magical season, so I agree with that statement. We'll jump over to the full rankings here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's the same tier we've had at the bottom. The middle was the Wild West. Literally is from like 4
to 8. I mean, even just 8 to 2 is just all over the place, kind of.
Yeah, 4 to 8.
I hate that I get cut off there right at the 9.
I know. I wanted to add it, but I was like, I have him at 10.
Hey, if I win this week, I want to include it in this
all right.
middle talk. Okay,
that's a deal because you do, like Hunter pointed out, you do have a weak schedule the rest of the year.
I think
Peter matchups. This is a tough one. You're facing Zach Stone at his highest, honestly. So this is a tough one. But your team's dropped 140 last week. So
I faced Peter at his highest, Isaac at his highest. And I chopped him down. So
you did. You really did. Yeah. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
That was fun. All right, we're gonna move into our guest this week, Jum himself. So we'll see you guys over there. All right.
Nice work. Should we watch the memes here together real quick before we dip out of here?
Dude, I did see that. I'll pull it up real quick.
It's pretty short. Peter said.
Share. We don't need.
We can all experience them together.
All right. YouTube. I'll end the recording. All right, everyone. We are here with Jonathan Jum Wallace. I know some of you haven't met him. This is Jum in the flesh.
I'm not Alex Chestnut. If
you're not Alex.
Confused.
Well, I don't know if Q-Dog's watching this or not, but he's confused by that.
Dude, he was like trying to convince me that I was Alex. Like he was like trying to convince me that I was the one that was wrong when I met him.
He is a wild individual. Well, Jem, how have you been?
Pretty good in life. Not so great in fantasy. Pretty average. Actually below average. It's 4 and 5 still.
It's unfortunate though, because your team's leading in points scored.
Also leading in points against. So
yeah, tough.
That's tough. That's tough.
You had a tough season, but What do you think of your team? You think you're looking good and confident with your team?
Yeah, I was happy with that trade I made with Zach. He really wanted Keenan Allen for some reason, so I kind of used that as leverage and ended up I knew I wanted a running back, so I was looking at Taylor, and then I was like, if I can get Higgins in there, I think especially with Burrow being back at full health, but did see that Higgins is most likely probably not gonna play this upcoming Sunday, so that's a bummer. But hopefully got Kyron Williams coming back in a couple of weeks. But I feel like I can't have another blemish. Otherwise, I don't know about the playoffs. Yeah, 4-5 is not a great spot to be.
Yeah, I was hoping you don't make it because I was scared to play you.
Say we're still very much believers in your team.
Yeah.
With where we have you in our rankings, but yeah, I think we are still very scared of your team, even though you are 4-5. We're very.
I mean, I think you guys put like a commentator's curse on my team. Like you were like,
yeah,
some might call us
sucker curse that we have.
Yeah, some might call us jump suckers.
You're glazing my team, and then they just sucked for a few weeks.
We did the same thing to Hanson's team. His team's also cursed.
That's true. Speaking of jump suckers, how do you feel about the podcast and the label we've gotten for being jump suckers?
What are you asking about that name?
Just how do you feel about it? How does it make you feel warm and fuzzy?
Do you think we're sucking?
No comment.
Or should we suck harder?
Yeah, because we're clearly not sucking hard enough with how your team's performing.
Yeah.
Please don't. I can't take any more L's. There seems to be like a direct correlation.
It's like it's hard not to talk about your team though when they drop 200 points and then like 180 like last week. You're like, how do we not rank him super high?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
even if you keep losing somehow, I don't get it. But whatever.
I'd be interested because I know that my team hasn't scored under 100. I don't know if there's any other teams that have not scored.
I was
under
looking at
100
that.
in a week.
Gove's on it.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Go, we'll find it in a minute. I was looking at my doc, see if I had one more question for you. Oh.
Have you watched every episode of the pod so far?
I didn't watch last week's, but I have been.
Good.
I'll be completely honest. When you guys released the first one, I was very skeptical, maybe trending towards
like
hating
cringy.
a little bit. But I think it was. I mean, I've loved it though. But I remember. I think it was. It was the one like a couple of weeks ago. It was the one when Eli came on to kind of give his overview of the investigation. I was driving somewhere and I was just cracking up the entire time, like the whole podcast, just audibly laughing. Like people driving next to me were like, "What the heck is that guy doing?"
Quick update on the stats. There have been 4 teams to not score under 100. It's you, Eli, Parker, and Isaac.
That is kind of consensus top 4.
Yeah, oddly enough, that is my top 4 teams. So
minus Hanson. Hanson's kind of boom or bust, weirdly enough, though. He has some weeks like that.
Oh.
All right. Well, those are our questions. Go. Did you have a question for him, or
no? It was just to touch on the jump suckers, but we got no.
Okay, comment. I like it.
We'll move on.
All right, we will jump into last week's. We can jump into last week's scores. So, you defeated a member of the podcast. Congrats. High Point Man again in the week.
I mean, Gove's team had a solid week though, too.
They really did. He would have beat a lot of people.
Like, yeah.
It's a shame it was wasted on nothingness. I guess if your last name is not Combs, I cannot beat you. So.
Well, good thing there's 3 of them in our league. So
yeah, I beat you the last 2 weeks too. So it should
be. Yeah, you might come up with enough wins against some Combs. Yeah, Jum's team once again destroyed everyone else in points scored. I think let's see. Zach's was the next highest, and he was 32 points higher than him. Yeah, up and down the board, just 20 points.
When the
everywhere.
defense put up 23, I kind of knew, it was over.
Was that on like Thursday night?
No, it was just a Sunday game, I believe. But all the scores.
Look at this.
Full commit.
I mean,
This
is like
beautiful.
something you see in your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful final scores right there.
Yeah, the bench
Consistency.
Great, but
Taysom Hill.
You Taysom.
I mean, if Higgins since Higgins probably isn't going to play, and then I think Dotson's questionable. I was thinking about if Dotson
Michael Wilson.
No, I was going to throw Hill in one of those flex spots possibly, but we'll see.
Man, we want Michael Wilson.
Have you ever started Michael Wilson?
Yeah, 1 week, and I think he got me like 2 points.
Was it because we were telling you to, or just because you had
no, this was. I don't know why I spent so much of the money on him because I usually stay away from those guys that just like go off 1 week. I don't know why I was just like, I'm gonna put a bunch of money on this dude. And then
you were playing defense on Gove because Gove needed him so bad.
It worked out for me. I can't complain. I still want him.
He wouldn't have done anything for you, but.
What are your thoughts on the Cam Akers injury? How do you feel like that impacts your team?
I'm honestly fine with it because I think
Madison.
Sorry, Cam.
Akers was trending up. Also, I'm still mad at Madison. I think I was playing Zach and lost by like 1.2 points or something crazy like that because Madison couldn't run like 5 more yards or something like that. So he's still on the trading block. He needs to learn his lesson.
He's learned his lesson.
So Joe, do you think you have a realistic shot to make it back or to make it to the playoffs with this roster?
I mean, I like where my roster's at right now. Again, I think I could maybe lose 1 more, but I mean, I don't know how many weeks are left. I mean, I think it'd be pretty tough, but I guess also my team's been, some of them, other than maybe like Hurts, Diggs, and St. Brown, kind of been up and down. So you need a little more consistency from everyone else. I think if I lose 1 more, that'd put me at, I think, 8-6. I'd have to go 4-1, which I'm still not sure if that would guarantee a playoff spot.
Gove, you want to check his playoff chances on ESPN and how many weeks are left?
I feel like they're still pretty good. I think.
I'm sure they're probably in the 50s or so.
I think they're like 50.
I think it was like
something like
50. Yeah, something
57.
like that.
57.
So yeah, I think you've got a good shot.
I'm officially at 10%, so I'm up a little bit.
There you go.
Who's the lowest right now?
It's got to be Peter.
Peter is at a 1%.
Oh, what about Alex?
And I just think it's because it cannot say 0 yet. Alex is at 4%.
Okay.
And then I am next at 10.
So, Joe, you've got about a middle of the pack remaining schedule. I mean, you've got Eli and Parker these upcoming 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm scared of that matchup.
2 pretty tough opponents. But then you finish with Jackson twice and then Zach Skinner. So, I mean, I feel like 4-1 is definitely possible. You can definitely probably should win those last 3. And if you can get one from one of these next 2 guys, I feel like you got a real shot here.
Jackson's team's been heating up, and Zach's team's 6-3 or whatever. So he's got a pretty tough schedule here on out.
That game's just Skinner's team's just lucky. That's all it is.
He had a miracle comeback last week.
I was watching
the Chargers defense.
But,
the misfits.
The misfits. Oh man!
Dude,
all right,
Zach was bugging me for the next week after he beat me.
He said he bullied you into the trade. We talked to him at the wedding.
That's not true.
You said
I got exactly what I wanted.
You know how Zach is. He just bullies everyone, whether he thinks he's actually bullying them or not. He's always thinking he's bullying them, whether it's true or not.
He said he was trying to give you Michael Thomas.
Yeah, he sent it. I don't know. We were texting back and forth for probably a good like 4 or 5 days, and he kept. At one point, he was wanting me to include Diggs in the trade instead of Keenan Allen. I'm like, there's no way. I think at one point, it was like Diggs and Pacheco for Taylor and Marquise Brown. It's like, no.
I do send him like a Diggs trade every week. I just want that,
you have been.
I just want that Allen to Diggs connection. All right.
Yeah,
so
I forgot he was telling us about how he was trying to bait you into getting Michael Thomas. How he almost got you. For Michael
he's
Thomas.
like, come on, just take Michael Thomas.
Yeah, he did.
Were you close to taking Michael Thomas at all in negotiations? He really thought he almost had you.
Yeah, I think he made it sound like he almost got you.
Well, he was the one that kept like bugging me. So I'm like, I know he really wants Allen, so I'm going to use that as leverage. And I ended up getting Higgins. So
Good deal.
All right. If we're done talking about this one, we'll go into next week's matchup for you. Gove? Good.
I'm out of words for my team, really.
Big matchup this week.
Oh, man. This is the Titans.
I think I'm pretty lucky that Kelsey is on bye this week. I think that definitely helps me a little.
Yeah, but you have to start Will Levis.
Will Levis?
Yeah, I love it.
I love it too. I love Will Levis.
I didn't like the other options picking up people, but I mean, I think it was like Tampa Bay's defense has given up the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. I saw so. I mean, if Levis can get 15 or whatever he's projected at, I'm happy with that.
If you want Dak, Kyler, or Deshaun Watson, send me an offer.
Not trading your quarterback for
everybody is on the block.
It would be Gove doing an interview if he didn't offer you a terrible trade.
He's always got a trade in the barrel.
Yep.
I'll give you Michael Wilson for Dak.
You do want Michael Wilson.
That's honestly probably a fair trade.
That would be a fab gain for me. I spent less on Dak than you did on Michael Wilson. So.
All right, so he's got the addition of Justin Herbert, Dave Montgomery's back, and James Conner. So that's definitely not lucky for you. Getting both his running backs back. So I guess you did lose Kelsey and Puka. And his number one kicker.
Yeah, but you know me, Puka hater. Puka's not been playing very well.
Because of his freaking Brett Rippon quarterback.
Carson Wentz in town.
Carson Wentz is back, baby.
Back down to normal.
I'm gonna buy me a jersey.
Yeah, so this is a tough one. I mean, Eli's not full strength, but pretty close.
And the predictions, the projected totals are going to be off because I'm going to assume that Jump's not going to start T. Higgins because he's been ruled out and projected 0 right now. I'm assuming he's probably going to put somebody else in there.
Probably
freaking Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, Jump. You want to tell us about?
Questionable too.
You want to tell us about your thought process of picking up Keaton Mitchell this week?
The infamous Keaton Mitchell.
Well, I literally went to the page. It showed like how much money everyone had left, and I checked Parker and Gove's and just did $1 above. Like I think Gove had the most amount of money left out of the two of them, so I just did $1 above.
I didn't
freaking jerk. I knew I wasn't gonna get him. I was like, someone's gonna bet $8 and get him. I wanted the trio. I wanted all three Ravens running backs. And he robbed me of it.
I like how on Sleeper it like shows you like everyone that bid on a certain player.
It does on ESPN too, doesn't it?
You have to go to the offers report though.
I don't think you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Can you see it on the phone on mobile? I don't know.
Oh, you have to.
I think so.
You can get to it a certain different way.
Yeah, you can get to it.
Notifications that say like, "Oh, today's offer report is here." So.
Yeah. I think there's a way to look at it. But
well, I've never seen that. So
either way,
so it's I think it was just me and you that put offers on him. I bet $7 and you got him for 17. I was like, gosh, dang, Jum needs him, of course, of all people. But
Yeah,
I
I mean,
hope
he is
I hope he does well for
questionable,
you.
so
Well, and he's also projected 2 points, which is I'm like, I don't know about that.
He got most of his work in garbage time. I don't. He could be something, but
But he was super explosive, wasn't he?
I mean,
Like
they were already up like
H-N
30
explosive.
points though. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just
I
wanted
mean,
him because
Jum, you're probably
you
never
know
gonna
my
play him, are
story with
you?
Keaton Mitchell.
he
What'd
wanted
you
to play
say?
him.
You're probably
mean, if
never
he's
gonna
still-
play him. Are you just got him to stick it to Gove and Parker?
I mean, if he has like a couple of like good weeks, I would think about it. But right now, he's just sitting there.
He's just Michael Wilson. It.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that's my Michael Wilson right there.
Yeah, Wilson and Mitchell just kind of sitting there like trophies.
I was gonna get Mitchell and change my name to the Keaton Mitchells, but I didn't. I didn't get him.
Hey, Parker might trade you Derrick Henry for him. You never know.
Yeah, he
you
almost
did
pulled it off once.
you did send that trade for Pacheco for Henry. I thought about that one for for a long while.
I did send it. I didn't know if I ever sent it.
Yeah,
I wanted to
this
do
was
it.
it's probably a month ago though, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I do miss watching Pacheco, or I'll miss watching him on Sundays. He's just
dude, I love him. That's why I wanted him. I was like, he just runs so freaking hard.
I think I saw something that
8
was like
yards.
he looks like someone's like threatening to like kill his family or something if he doesn't get a certain amount of yards.
He'll be running so hard, and then you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, he's running hard!" And then the play's over. It was like a gain of 3 yards. It's like,
I know.
what are you doing? His conditioning has to be great because he
I know.
all out every play.
It's
like-
hilarious.
Everyone hits the ground with like the same amount of force, but he just somehow defies gravity and just hits it harder than everyone else. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, so I don't know who you'll slot in there, but probably Dotson, I would imagine.
I guess there's maybe he's not questionable anymore. Yeah, I'll put Dotson in there, I'm sure.
I don't know Nico Collins' status if he'll play or not, but that could leave you hurting if you both
Yeah.
is out.
I think Higgins and Collins both were having hamstring issues.
Oh, that's the worst.
The old
Yeah,
hammy.
suck it up and play.
That's what Darren Waller did, and he ended up on the IR for me.
Yeah, played like 10 cents. Well,
that was expected though. You know, Waller's always gonna pull a hammy some point in the season.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, so who do you guys think are going to win this one? Go, you want to go first? Oh, guess go first? Okay,
yeah, we got
Jump.
first.
Jum, who do you think's gonna win?
It's like,
My cynicism wants to say Eli, but I'm gonna go with myself. I mean, I think Montgomery and Connor coming back for him are huge, but I mean, because
Could
Gibbs
be
has been
limited.
playing so well, yeah, I don't think Montgomery's going to get quite as many touches, and I guess it's kind of hard to know with Connor like what he's going to do coming off injury. Obviously, Kelsey out hurts a lot, but yeah, huge on Diggs and Brown. I think they're going to have big games. Just they've been super consistent this year. I think Akers being out is going to help Madison a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with my team.
go.
I'm gonna roll with Jum as well. Eli told me that he was happy that I picked against him last week and picked Isaac to win. He knew that he felt really good about his chances after I picked Isaac, so because he knew that I'd probably pick wrong. So I'll do it again for you, Eli. I'll pick Jum again to win.
Oh, poor Jum. You got
Yeah.
the Hunter curse.
I'm putting the kiss of death on your team.
Or flip
Mainly
that-
because I need
There
you
you
to
go.
lose so that I have a better chance to win. So, but then I'll probably see
I
myself.
do need him to lose. I'm so scared of his team in the playoffs.
I think for this one, I'm going to go Eli. I think having his 2 running backs back help. Hunter Henry at the tight end does scare me, but he's playing the Colts. in Germany, which is kind of weird. But I think he can find the end zone there. I just look at Eli's team, and I'm not really. I don't know. The Herbert, he sucked last week, but I'm still going to roll with it. I just don't think Will Levis, the quarterback, is doing it for me.
D1 hater. You're a D1 hater.
I hate Will Levis.
For no reason.
He said he gave us 3 reasons one time.
Three good reasons.
He said something about he hates the Titans, mayonnaise, and what was the other reason?
And his girlfriend dumped him, so that kind of sucks.
Oh gosh, that's a new reason.
Hate him because he couldn't keep the girl, But I look forward to seeing you guys on a meme next week when Eli wins. So
this one's so tough for me. I mean, Eli's team's looking better, but I'm also thinking his running backs might be a little limited. Like, it's hard to expect them to come back off of IR and just automatically kill it. So I'm going to go with Jonathan, also because he's got Will Levis at the helm, not in spite of Will Levis.
Yeah.
all right, we'll see.
I think you guys probably just put a curse on him. He's gonna end up with negative points or something.
Well, yeah, I don't know. My picks have been decent, not as good as Go's picks somehow. Go, you're leading us in picks, right? Percentage somehow.
We haven't gotten the updated ones from last week. I'm sure I'm still pretty good.
I was gonna, you don't want to mention you don't want to mention Hunter's percentage. The 0 for 6 was pretty impressive, actually.
That was hilarious.
Some say, I would have to be really good at picking games to be able to pick all the losers. It's like the true false test. If somebody got a 0% on all the true false questions, that would mean they know that they knew all the right answers and they tried to miss them. So I think that's what we're going to rock with my strategy.
I kind of want to call this like the matchup of the week, but we've also got mine and Isaac's, so just like a hated rivalry.
Nah, this is the matchup of the week.
This is the matchup of the week? Okay, I'll take it. This one's definitely going to be the closest game, I think.
We'll see.
All right. Well, do you have any final thoughts, Jum, before you leave us?
Not really.
Anticlimactic. Nothing about the league, the podcast, just America.
USA, baby.
Best shirt in the USA. All right, Jum. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
it was an honor.
Everyone, this is the end of the podcast to everybody, but we're gonna do more. So, peace.
Why do all the guests salute too? I don't get it.
The what?
Every guest salutes too.
Because did you do it? Did Jum do it too?
Yeah, he salutes.
I think they're just like, why is everybody else saluting? Like, I'll just salute too.
Yeah.
And freaking Gove always just sits there. Gove does his weird.
Now I can't.
I could have given you guys the bird.
That would have been good.
It's not too late.
We haven't had anyone do that.
Give you a double bird.
Let's edit that in, Parker.
I probably will.
Oh, yeah. There's a nice little project for you. I want to see your editing skills on that.
Just zoom in on it's like the very last 5 seconds. Just zoom in on Jum's face. The double bird.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right.
Thanks
for go ahead. I'll hop off.
All right.
Look forward to seeing the rest of it.
It was good seeing you.
Good seeing you, everybody.
Good to see you again.
See ya.
Can put that one in too. All right. How the hell do I get out of here?
At the bottom, it says leave studio.
Let's close the tab.
Oh, there we go.
Just leave that entire thing in.